Hey YouTubers, Facebookers and Instagrammers, we're in the height of winter now, deep into December. In fact, we've got 2 days to Christmas Day, and I'm also already starting to get people asking me about puppies for this spring, coming forwards now from where we are. And what I wanted to talk about in this video is the working cocker the right dog for you? Now, the reason why I'm talking predominantly about working cocker is that makes up about 85% of my client base. So it's something around about 30,000 cockers are bred a year in the UK. And what you've got to understand about the working cocker is it's a working breed dog. So there aren't that many working breed dogs left that are being bred right today to still do a job. But the working cocker is definitely one of those. And although they are a fantastic dog, they are difficult predominantly. Now, people often say to me, I might be out, meet friends, and people ask me what I do, and I explain what I do. And then I say to them, I'm predominantly cockers, some springers, and I'm doing a Labrador vlog this spring coming, okay? So I'm going to the dark side. Now, interestingly, normally the dark side is people coming from Labradors over to Spaniels, but I am doing a Labrador vlog from this spring moving forwards. But predominantly it's cockers that I work with. Now, people often say to me, when I explain the ins and the outs of the working cocker and the issues and the reasons why I probably wouldn't get one, maybe, they'll say, oh, but you've got loads of cockers, you love them. I'm like, I do, but I can tell you from working with them for an awful long time now that they are a very difficult dog. And there are better dogs that you can get if you are getting your first domestic pet or your first working gun dog. Typically when I started out, it was like, cut your teeth on Labradors, get some Labradors, learn how to train those, maybe get a Springer next. And if you feel really like testing your skills, then get a cocker. Because the thing with the cockers is that they want to question everything that you do. And they make you graft for every little bit of training. For every 2 steps you take, you're probably going to take a couple back as well. And if I speak to any of my long-term clients, they'd probably say to you, there are so many highs and lows. The highs are fantastic, but they can just bring you straight back to earth the next day. And predominantly the issue, as I said, is that they want to question everything. They're very willful. A lot of the time people say to me, oh, we're a very active family. We do a lot of exercise. We want to take it, do this, that, and the other, which sounds like a good thing. But the problem is that people are often in a hurry to get the dog out. They don't really want to spend 18, 20 months training the dog, being quite restrictive, being very careful what they do. I always liken a Spaniel to a bit like a sports car, like a Formula One car. They're not a great dog for just nipping to the shops with. They've got to be looked after and everything needs to be done the right way. And if you cut any corners or you're lazy or you don't spend time working or something, or you're not restrictive or another thing, there's a good high chance that you're going to get caught out later on. There are no shortcuts to training a Spaniel. With a Labrador, you can be quite laid back. You can make silly little mistakes and they'll be quite forgiving towards you. But with a cocker, they will punish you for any naivety, inexperience, or mistakes. Whether mistakes are made out of love or not is irrelevant. I'm often saying you could do everything nice for that dog. Sorry, I'm losing my voice a little bit. You can do everything nice for that dog. You can give it the best bed, buy it the best food, take it to the nicest places, and it's still going to disappoint and let you down. Now, I don't want this video to sound like it's all negative, because it's not designed to be. But what I repetitively see from people is that they think, a couple of months of training, maybe a few puppy classes is going to be sufficient. And there might be the odd one or two where that is okay, but the vast majority of them are probably going to get themselves into trouble. And the problem is that first year of training that you do is so vitally important. I get an awful lot of messages from people from a year onwards, 18, 20 months. Hey, Chris, we watched your channel, everything you said. Not to do, unfortunately, we did, not realizing, some of the issues, and we now have this and this issue, and it's so much harder to go back and fix than it is to avoid at the early stage. So basically what I'm saying is, if you are thinking of getting one, don't think of it as a dog where you're going to be able to be quite relaxed and cut corners and be taking it out and letting it run around at 6 months old. Yes, you can do that, and yes, the dog will do that. Is that the right thing? No. So if you want a dog where you can have a fairly lazy approach, you don't want to have to do too much with it, you don't want it to be a real focus for you, then don't get a cocker. Get yourself a Labrador. 100%. I love my cockers, but Labradors are a much more straightforward dog if you want a more lazy approach, especially if you're getting your first gun dog as well. I'm going to do some other vlogs moving forwards, also covering some other aspects of the working gun dog world. But basically, you know, if you want a challenge and you want to spend time and you're committed to that dog, fantastic, get a cocker, okay, or a Springer. But if you don't really have the drive to spend time training it over a decent period of time, then they're probably not the right dog to start off on. Anyway, this isn't meant to be like a despondent video. This is just factual. It's the same things that I see over and over again generally, and I'm just trying to avoid people falling into the traps, okay? So anyway, there's a whole load of videos on my YouTube, so if you're new to this channel, go through, you can watch Charlie's vlog all the way through from 12 weeks through to a finished dog, and he qualified for the British Championships this year, which is in January in about 2 weeks' time. There's a Billy's vlog. There's Honey's vlog, which is running at the moment. I've got to do another episode of that fairly soon. So there's loads of footage you can go back and watch all the processes through from 12 weeks onwards. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. Don't forget to subscribe if you can. It's massively appreciated. Like, any questions, stick them in the description below. Otherwise, Merry Christmas.